Welcome. Thank you for joining me for episode 6 titled No Way Out But All In. This is included in my premium content podcast, Nichel Anderson, Short Stories and Beyond, for season 1, 2017 to 2018, that I will release weekly clips from the full short story of that week, which sometimes I will also release the actual scene. It could be a bonus, something that I'm presenting to those that have not as of yet joined as a patron. But for the most part, these will be considered clips of the full short story that I am recording. Again, if you are interested in becoming a patron for this particular project of my podcast where I am releasing short stories, you can go to my Patreon page, which is www.p as in Paul, patreon.com. So it's patreon.com/Nichel Anderson. In this podcast, it initially started with Mole themed stories, as that production is in the prep phase for the prestige return of Mole stage play to return back to stage. In the meantime, this new podcast will mostly feature Mole storyline to give you more insight into the many over 50 characters from my book titled Mitstrayim, a Memoir. This book of mine is available on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble or any other book retailer. Let's do a recap from last week, episode 5, season 1 for 2017-2018, where listeners were introduced to the parents of Queen Hagar, her father Tahib, and wife Queen Mother Mana. Just to give a quick background on Tahib, he is the character out of the two, the only one that has been introduced to the public. He started in my book, Mitstrayim. He came through real strong. The wife, Queen Mother Mana, she is making her first debut in the Mole storyline. She was never in the book. She was never in the stage plays, as Tahib was not either. Tahib will be in the prestige return of Mole stage play. Queen Mother Mana has not been revealed to me that she will yet. So at any rate, right now, we are learning more about Tahib. If you have read my book, then this would be a great opportunity to find out more about him. I'm enjoying the journey. So it's very interesting, but she came through, the wife, the mother, and I'm very excited. The scenes that I have seen between Hagar and her mother. So this would be a journey for me as I get more involved into that relationship and find out about this new character. So right now, last week, as we focus on that episode 5, to give you a background, if you did not get to listen to that episode, and just to do a recap, that Tahib and Queen Mother Mana, they are on the eastern side coastline of the Sudan. Again, the Sudan at that particular time is what we call now Africa. Now, Tahib received a message from Mitstrayim in a secret language. Also, Tahib was the only one from these two. So let's go ahead and move on, and let's begin in this episode 6, titled No Way Out But All In, for my podcast show, Nichel Anderson, Short Stories and Beyond. Opening scene. On the banks of Ghaneto, we return to where in episode 4, Comrade Jetur, after getting a reflection of light communicator message from Halek, one of the high-ranking military officer of Mitstrayim, confirmed they are there hidden with 400 guards at his command. Comrade Jetur more confidently enters the big tall tent where one of Mitstrayim's enemies resides. A military guard of Mitstrayim and one other guard followed closely behind Comrade Jetur, ready to defend. There are flickering lights as the tent goes down farther and further into the tent. Many males and some women were talking, some were sleeping, but silence filled the tent as soon as Comrade Jetur made his presence, especially with his Mitstrayim attire. He had gold breastplate. Gemstones were positioned in an array to identify his rank. On his both arms he had a band made of material as well as gold strands to identify his rank and Mitstrayim military force. Comrade Jetur instantly saw one of the armed men attempted to charge at him. Within seconds, Jetur put out his sword to point it inches from the man's throat. Comrade Jetur speaks. I only come by the way of the message. With his hand raised, holding the medallion, the object that was wrapped in the brown cloth scattered of forces entered in the tent of shock and awe and interest. Then suddenly, from the back, a man spoke with thunder. You got the message? He was heavy with weight, wearing a lot of clothing on the left shoulder. His hair stood tall as a mountain, but wide as a river. He was sitting on a chair, high of stacks of stone. He weighed down the men that tried to attack Comrade Jetur. I am here, Comrade Jetur yelled down towards the man. Where is you are a fool to try and deal with me with little help. Comrade Jetur persisted. Where is my... That concludes this week's clip for this week's short story episode. If you want to get the whole complete short story, it is under my paid Patron program that is located on my Patreon page, which is www.patreon.com/Nichel Anderson, that I have been communicating from the last several weeks for the launch of my new podcast, Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond, where you just received an opportunity to hear the recent episode that is published every week on Mondays, starting for this season 1 for 2017-2018. And I hope you like my stories, and I encourage you to sign up to be a patron. You can cancel anytime, and you get access to rewards at different levels. Again, thank you for tuning in this week to my podcast, Nichel Anderson, Short Stories and Beyond. So long.